dawn of the digital age, billions of ideas and dreams are battling it out. My quest is to find the exceptional one, that one in a billion. The one who conquers all the challenges, with all but one idea. To be that one in a billion. To be a unicorn. Our adventure, our quest begins. This is Unicorn, chasing the startup dream.
Fruits. You wanted toothpaste, right? These guys deliver it. Go get dahi separately. Oh, but Dad needed wipes for the car. Actually, just order these fruits online. Oh, but for the wipes, I'll have to go to the mall. Oh, it's traffic time. There are so many things one needs on a day-to-day basis, and you always have to end up going in 5 different directions to get those 5 things. There really needs to be an easier way to do this. I wish there was like a genie or something to make my life easier. Like that. Hi.
Madam, your order.
Thank you. Wipes done. Toothpaste done. Dahi done. Face wash done. And fruits done. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, on Unicorn, we always have a solution. You've seen it. The goal of every startup is to become your genie in a lamp and make sure all your dreams and wishes come true with a simple tap or swipe. And those who manage to become the perfect genies are on track to becoming the next telltale unicorns. The exalted status of a unicorn. Now that's the dream for every startup. And why shouldn't it be? There are only about 8 unicorns in India currently valued at over $1 billion each. And today we've got hold of one such startup that has transformed from a starry-eyed dream into a bulletproof business. This is Grofers, a hyper-local grocery delivery startup which has witnessed its valuation grow over 10-fold in barely a year. Now this is a success story worth telling. But then again, as Grofers continues to grow at breakneck speed in this overcrowded grocery delivery market in India, here's what I want to know.
Will Grofers be able to beat fierce competition from Big Basket and emerge as a leader in the hyperlocal space? Is the hyperlocal grocery space becoming too overcrowded? What lies ahead for Grofers? What makes Grofers a strong contender to be the next unicorn from India?
Because what we realized is that we needed consumers to try a new way once. And if they try it and they like it, they will probably never go back to the old way of doing things.
From working out of a little shared workspace to raising more than $150 million, theirs is a story worth telling. This is Grofers, a startup aiming to leave an indelible mark in India's startup scene. Meet founder Albinder Dhindsa, a graduate from IIT Delhi who enjoyed a successful stint at Zomato for realizing the potential of India's now overcrowded grocery segment. And Grofers co-founder Saurabh Kumar may appear shy and soft-spoken, but his entrepreneurial spirit is bold and is taking Grofers to new heights. Together, they are trying to make gold of India's blooming startup ecosystem and forging their identity in the very hot, very crowded grocery segment. But they aren't the only ones out to conquer the grocery space. So how are they beating the competition?
So I think you have to provide great experiences to the consumer in order to sort of beat out competition, right? So the real strategy is always to make sure that you are doing what you are doing really, really well, and I think the competition will take care of itself.
The Grofers team is out to capture a bigger market with its focus on young professionals who don't really have the time to visit brick-and-mortar stores for everyday consumption items. But unlike the single-minded focus of startups like Peppertap and Big Basket on groceries, the Grofers catalogue is expansive. Along with groceries, you can buy kitchenware, stationery and a lot more. This has led to Grofers clocking around 35,000 orders a day, which is not bad at all. Even as competition looms large and investors acknowledge that the grocery space is overvalued and overcrowded, the founders seem undeterred. The Grofers app has seen over 2 million downloads across iOS and Android and has tied up with around 10,000 merchants. But we want to know, Does Grofers have what it takes to be the next unicorn?
I think what sort of makes us the next big thing and a billion-dollar company is basically taking something that has existed in the market for over 50 years and introducing technology into it so that the process becomes more efficient. So as a result, Grofers will be able to, not just create that value in the market, but create some value for our stakeholders as well.
But hey, the news headlines present a completely different story. So let's grill the founders.
Grofers has really been making headlines. On one hand, you're getting a lot of applause for your growth and for the funding that you've received. But on the other hand, there are talks of losses. So what is the real deal?
The real deal is that, building a tech business in India, that too one that is consumer facing, is going to be an uphill climb for a while. So where we end up losing money are two major things. One is investing in the kind of infrastructure that will actually help us scale up the business a lot, right? That includes delivery infrastructure, fulfillment infrastructure. And the second thing, where we lose money is basically sort of holding the fort till that infrastructure gets built. The good thing is that, if you can actually start with a consumer proposition where for a fact that the consumers are willing to use the service and they, are willing to actually buy from you, it makes the sort of process of, making those losses while building up the business a lot more palatable.
But in terms of numbers of orders, does it look promising for Grofers?
January of this year, when we actually launched the app, we were averaging, I think, 50 orders a day, and we closed out the last month averaging more than 25,000 orders a day.
Is the hyperlocal space becoming too overcrowded? What lies ahead for Grofers?
I think the hyper-local words started getting used very casually over the last 6 to 8 months. I think any sort of good business opportunity will get overcrowded for once, right? It's kind of like the gold rush that everybody will come in. But over time, you have to look at, there is going to be a lot of consolidation in the market, which I think we're already seeing. But I think in the short term, there has been overcrowding and I think that's a normal business cycle.
What is your revenue model and what is the kind of growth that you witnessed?
Our revenue model is twofold. So every time we bring an order to the merchant, they pay us a commission on that. And every time a merchant uses us to do their deliveries, they also pay us per delivery. In terms of merchants alone, right, we have grown from servicing 10 merchants in January of last year to more than 10,000 merchants now. So growth has not been a problem for us.
This is 2016, and if the last year is anything to go by, the startup party has just begun. From food tech startups to hardware product startups, and of course a lot of grocery startups in between, a lot of young entrepreneurs have gained the faith of investors. And so we thought, why not look back and introspect what were the investment trends in the world of startups in 2015? You never know, it may just give us a glimpse into the future. So we went and asked an expert.
The story in 2015 was a few of the startups got a fairly high valuations. Most of those high valuations were coming from actually non-traditional private equity or a growth venture capital kind of companies. The other trend in 2015 that has picked up a lot of steam is an angel investments. It's been a really surprising story as to how many people and how many different platforms have emerged in the last year or so that allows one to actually take tens of lakhs of rupees per person and invest in some startup or other.